The Eiffel Tower, from ugly monster to global icon. What if I told you that one of the most famous landmarks in the world was once hated by the people of Paris? Today, millions of people visit the Eiffel Tower every year. It's romantic, iconic, beautiful, but when it was first built in the late 1800s, many artists and writers called it a giant metal monster. So how did this huge iron tower go from the ugliest thing in Paris to one of the most loved structures on Earth? This is the incredible history of the Eiffel Tower. Paris wanted something big. In the late 19th century, France wanted to show the world how modern and powerful it was. The year 1889 was especially important because France was preparing a huge world fair called the Exposition Universelle. The event would celebrate 100 years since the French Revolution. France wanted something spectacular at the entrance of the fair, something never seen before. So the government announced a competition, Design a Monument for Paris. More than 100 ideas were submitted, but one idea stood above all the others, literally. A giant iron tower designed by engineer Gustave Eiffel and his team. At the time, the design sounded crazy. A 300-meter iron tower? In the 1880s? People thought it was impossible. Who really designed it? Even though the tower is named after Gustave Eiffel, the first idea actually came from two engineers working for his company, Maurice Coquelin and Émile Noguier. Later, architect Steven Salvestre improved the design by adding decorative arches and details. Gustave Eiffel loved the idea and bought the rights to the project. Soon, the tower became known as the Eiffel Tower. And construction officially began in 1887. People hated it. Before the tower was even finished, many Parisians were furious. A famous protest letter was signed by artists, writers, and intellectuals. They called the tower a useless and monstrous Eiffel Tower. Some people said it looked like a factory chimney. Others thought it would ruin the beauty of Paris forever. Imagine seeing this giant iron skeleton rising above elegant stone buildings. To many people, it felt completely wrong. But Gustave Eiffel defended his project. He believed the tower represented science, innovation, and the future. And despite all the criticism, construction continued. Building the impossible. Building the Eiffel Tower was an engineering miracle. More than 18,000 iron parts were used, and over 2.5 million rivets held everything together. The parts were carefully made in factories and brought to Paris for assembly. What's amazing is that the tower was built in just over 2 years. That was incredibly fast for the time, even more impressive. Only a small number of workers died during construction, which was unusual for such a dangerous project in the 1800s. The tower officially opened in March 1889. And instantly, people were shocked, because the Eiffel Tower became the tallest structure in the world. At 300 meters tall, it was taller than any building humans had ever created before. It kept that record for more than 40 years. The tower was supposed to be temporary. Here's something many people don't know. The Eiffel Tower was never meant to stay forever. The agreement said the tower would stand for only 20 years. After that, it would probably be destroyed. Yes, destroyed. Many Parisians still disliked it. But Gustave Eiffel had a smart plan. He proved the tower could be useful for science and communication. Researchers used it for weather studies, physics experiments, and especially radio transmission. This became extremely important for the military. Because of radio technology, the tower became too valuable to tear down. And that decision saved the Eiffel Tower forever. Surviving wars and Hitler. During World War I, the tower helped France intercept enemy radio messages. During World War II, Paris was occupied by Nazi Germany. When Adolf Hitler visited Paris, French resistance fighters famously cut the tower's elevator cables. That meant Nazi soldiers had to climb the stairs if they wanted to reach the top. There's also a famous story that Hitler ordered Paris, including the Eiffel Tower, to be destroyed before the Germans retreated. Thankfully, the order was never carried out, and the tower survived the war once again. From hated to loved, over time, public opinion completely changed. The structure people once called ugly became the symbol of Paris itself. Today, the Eiffel Tower represents romance, travel, art, and French culture. More than 7 million people visit it every year. At night, thousands of lights make the tower sparkle every hour. And during major world events, it becomes a symbol seen across the globe. Movies, postcards, fashion ads, social media, the Eiffel Tower is everywhere. What was once criticized became timeless. The history of the Eiffel Tower teaches us something powerful. Sometimes, the ideas people reject at first become the ideas that change the world. A structure once called a disaster became one of humanity's greatest landmarks. More than iron and rivets, the Eiffel Tower became a symbol of imagination, courage, and innovation. And over 130 years later, it still watches over Paris stronger than ever. So, next time you see the Eiffel Tower, remember, the world almost tore it down. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves history and travel. And tell us in the comments, would you have supported the Eiffel Tower when it was first built? See you in the next video.